Welcome to Deliciously with Ara. Ngayon gagawa tayo ng cabbage kimchi. So cabbage kimchi or yangbachumul kimchi is one of the water-based kimchi in Korea. As you know, kimchi actually stands for fermented vegetables, right? And so this one is a very easy. It's normally eaten during like summer days in Korea, or a great companion for like Korean barbecues, because the fermented vegetables, especially from the cabbage and all these assorted fruits and vegetables we have right now, is parang natural digestive medicine na rin siya. So it's very simple to make. Our main ingredients, of course, are cabbage and the radish. And if you have like apples or pears, and like for some added colors, we can have like bell peppers or paprika of different colors. I have here yellow and red, and also for orange, like something just to brighten up the kimchi, mulgimchi later, and also some spring onions. And for the sauce itself, we need potatoes. So this is actually a big size. You can have like a half size or like a one medium potatoes. So let's start making our cabbage kimchi. So here I'm gonna be cutting off my cabbage. So let's cut this in half. There you go, medyo, yeah, it's a little hard. Now I'm gonna be cutting off the half and then remove yung parang medyo matigas na part. So siguro a cabbage, it should be like around this size, which is parang maganda pang sabaw mamaya because it's water-based kimchi. So let's cut all our vegetables like on a siguro like 2 inches na square. So nahiwa ko na yung ating cabbage like this, and kung may mga parts na nakadikit, please loosen it up as you cut para mamaya pag ma-ferment natin siya, it can be fermented evenly. And I'm gonna be adding on my radish. So medyo malaki yung aking radish. I need around 200 to 250 grams of radish. So I'm just gonna need it this much. Balatan natin siya, and then we're gonna cut it thinly and parang square din, parang halo same size and shape with my cabbage, and then ihalo natin siya here. So now, i-add natin yung ating nahiwang radish sa ating cabbage. And then, unahin natin to i-ferment. We're gonna be fermenting it with rock salt. Of course, kimchi is any vegetables na fermented. So I'm gonna be needing around 5 tablespoons of my rock salt. So evenin natin siya ilagay. And haluin natin siya mamaya together with my 3 tablespoons of my sugar. So the reason why I'm adding sugar and salt is dahil this water kimchi, some reactions with the saltiness and the sugar gives this parang extra crunch and nagpapadali ang kanyang fermentation process. And then I'm just gonna put some water, parang mababad lang ng konti para mas mabilis. So just put enough water just to cover up your cabbage. Depende sa size ng cabbage ninyo and nilagayan ninyo. And then haluin natin siya. And siguro iwan natin siya ng mga 10 minutes hanggang ma-prepare natin ang ating mga ibang gulay. So haluin ko lang siya with my kamay. And then habang hinahalo, ilusin natin yung mga parts na nakadikit like this. So while we're waiting for this, I'm gonna be making our starch base mamaya sa ating water base ng ating kimchi. So I need a potato. So medyo malaki to, so I'm just gonna be using like a half of it. Then balatan natin siya. Now I'm gonna cut this in small cubes kasi iboboil natin siya and gusto ko madaling maluto lang. So maliliit na cubes. And then ilalagay natin siya sa ating pot. So it really doesn't matter what kind of shape your potatoes are, basta maliliit para madaling maluto. And then buhos tayo ng 1 cup of water. Together with some salt to taste, siguro mga 1/5 or 1/6, just konti lang. And then takpan natin siya. We're just gonna really like overcook it kasi imamash natin siya mamaya in the blender. So while I'm waiting for my potatoes to prepare, I'm gonna be cutting already the vegetables that we're gonna be adding in my water kimchi for my cabbage para mas maganda yung kanyang color. So first, I'm gonna be cutting some carrots. So it really doesn't matter how much you want to add. It's really up to you. So I'm gonna be using around 1/2 of my carrots. Malinipis na ng ating hiwa niyang lahat. Now, I also have here my apple. The apple gives a very special sweetness to this water kimchi. Maganda ang kasama nito sa ating cabbage mamaya. I'm not gonna cut the cover anymore, the skin anymore. Dahil binabad ko siya muna sa mga vinegar water. Isang spoon ng vinegar, saka isang cup ng water. Binabad ko siya around 15 minutes just to remove yung parang whatever na dumi na it could have on the skin. Lahat ng mga fruits, all the nutrients are on the skin. So I'm just gonna be removing the center core. And then maliliit din ang hiwa. So now all my vegetables and fruits have been cut up. I'm gonna be now cutting my spring onions. These are around 40 grams, or the basis of me is just like 1 kamay. So it's really up to you how much you wanna add. The more, the better. It doesn't really matter, up to you. And then hiwain natin siya na maliliit lang. Siguro like 1 to 2 inches in length. So now all my vegetables are complete. We're gonna be making now the base sauce for our cabbage kimchi. So now let's check on my potatoes. Pinakuloan natin siya kanina. And as you can see, medyo nag-transparent na yung ating potato. It means luto na siya. So I'm gonna turn it off. And habang pinapalamig ko ng konti, if you have a blender, but you can blend this one in a little bit of water, siguro 1/2 cup. But if you have like a masher like mine, it's really up to you which one you want. You can just mash it para magiging pasty ang ating dating. So as you can see, parang magiging mashed potato na mas basa ang version, parang very pasty. I'm gonna get like a big mixing bowl so I can make all the mixture for my base. So first, I'm gonna pour this here. Yung pinakulo natin na isang 1.5 potatoes with 1 cup water. So I have here now my potatoes na na-mash ko siya or blended. And I'm gonna be adding in my, this also blended ginger. Or if you don't have a blender, you can just actually finely chop it. So I'm gonna be adding around 2 tablespoons. And this is blended onions, around 2 tablespoons as well. But if you don't really want to blend the onion, kasi may mga tao na natatapangan sa spiciness of the onion once it's blended, you can actually just finely chop it, like slice it and add it on our mixture of the vegetables. So it's either up to you whether you blend it like mine or you just finely slice it. So this is around 1/2 onions or around 2 tablespoons. And also I'm gonna be adding 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. So we'll just first mix all the mixtures. And this is sugar, so this is around washed sugar, whatever sugar you have, but not honey, because honey has a specific parang sweetness na smell that can overpower the kimchi. So just use like either agave syrup, corn syrup, rice syrup, or sugar. So just around 1.5 tablespoon of my sugar. And of course, for our kimchi, we always have to have patis. So I'm gonna be needing around 3 tablespoons of my patis. Haluin natin siya na haluin. Also, I have here parang bagoong na small shrimps. If you don't have this or you could not find an access to this, you can actually substitute this with patis. So probably instead of adding this one for 1 more tablespoon, you can add 1 more extra tablespoon of patis. So it's really up to you, whatever you have in the pantry, you can use. But apparently, I have this kind of patis, yung parang parang mini shrimps. I'm gonna be needing around 1 tablespoon. And this is red chili powder. We don't really add a lot of chili powder sa ating water kimchi because parang this is mostly parang pang sabaw ang ginagawa. But it's also good to add. But if you really don't like spicy or if you are considering to give it also to your children na hindi sila spicy, you can actually omit. But just for a little bit of added color, I'm just gonna be adding only 1 tablespoon, 1.5 to 1 tablespoon of my chili powder, but don't go more beyond because the outcome should not be parang kimchi na red ang sauce. Just a little bit of orange. So just siguro mga 1.5 tablespoon of my chili powder. I'm gonna mix it up. And also, when you add chili powder, it really takes time for the chili powder to fully melt and lumalabas yung kanyang color niya. So don't think na hindi siya para siya red, I'm gonna add more and more. And later on, you'll come up with super pasty na red na chili powder. So give it a time around, it takes normally like around 30 to an hour. And the secret actually to our water kimchi is one Yakult. I know that some people are probably surprised why you add Yakult, but as you know, diba, water kimchi or kimchi is actually fermented. It's really rich in lactobacilli. So when we add Yakult to our mixture, it gives this extra, it ferments, it gives this added layer of flavor of lactobacilli as well as the taste of it. So 1 bottle of Yakult. This is actually the secret recipe that my mom always added on her water kimchi. Then haluin natin siya. And as our mixtures are all complete, I'm gonna be straining my kanina na ferment natin na cabbage and radish. I'm not gonna rinse it dahil nahugasan naman kanina na ating cabbage and radish when we cut it. So I'm just gonna strain lang just to remove the excess water. So now I'm gonna add in my strained na cabbage and radish kanina. Back to my bowl. And then yung mga na-slice natin na ating mga vegetables. So we'll give it a big toss para mag-mix up silang lahat. So you can see, the color is really pretty. And then we're gonna add in the mixture that we made kanina. The potatoes and all this saltiness and the wonderful sauce that we've done with our Yakult. Buhos natin siya. And I'm gonna add around 13 cups of water. So now I've mixed up my mixture, and as you can see, the color of the broth, the soup is not so red dahil I did not make it very spicy. Now, if you wanted a little more red or a little bit of bite ng spiciness, siguro you can increase it up to 1 tablespoon of the chili powder instead of the 1/2 na ginamit ko kanina. Now, get like a container that can be properly sealed, and then I'm just gonna put them up here. I'm gonna divide it in my containers. So now I've transferred them to smaller containers. We need to really ferment them more for probably a half a day to 2 days. It really depends on the temperature of your kitchen. So I got here rock salt. We're gonna be covering the top of it with rock salt. Siguro around 3 tablespoons per container. Or maybe around 2 tablespoons. So, I've already covered them up around 2 tablespoons of salt. Don't worry na baka masyadong maalat. Actually, I need to have the salt para mas lalo siya ma-fully ferment. So, maybe around 4 to 5 hours later, try to flip it once and then try to taste the soup whether it's really not too salty or salty for you. Ang dahil dapat niya is medyo maad-ad ang konti. Now, if it's too bland, you can add another tablespoon of salt. If it's too salty, if you think na hindi ko parang bagoong alat ang labas niya, you can add a little bit of water. And siguro this will be good to be eaten around 6 hours or more later. So until then, I'll try to put it on the countertop of your kitchen, and after around 6 to 8 hours, put it then on the refrigerator because it's good to be eaten cold and served good. It's a very good partner for whatever Korean barbecues or whatever you have. It's a good summer treats as well. So tada! This is cabbage kimchi made by yours truly, deliciously with Ara. So thank you for enjoying my recipe for today. See you next time!